Okay, so picture this. You're ready to build like a fully functional Node.js application,
Okay.
but you don't want to wrestle with all of that code.
Right.
You just describe what you want and boom, it's there.
Oh, nice.
Like having, a 247 superpower developer on speed dial.
Yeah. Sounds pretty amazing.
And that is the promise of Friday, this AI-powered tool we are diving deep into today.
Okay, cool. I'm ready.
So Friday, it's basically an AI developer assistant, right?
Yeah, that's right.
Creates these Node.js projects straight from your prompts, like, talking to the AI to design your app. Crazy.
Yeah, it's wild. I mean, it kind of flips the script on how we think about building software, right?
Totally. So in this deep dive, we're going to unpack how this magic actually works,
Yeah, let's get into.
what it can do, what it can't do, and maybe what this means for the future of development, the big picture stuff.
Oh, the big picture stuff. I like it.
So one thing that really jumped out at me from the source material here, it says that Friday is using this GPT-432K. Now, I know that GPT is a big deal in the AI world, but
Sure.
what makes this particular version so special?
Well, that 32K is key, right?
Okay.
That refers to the model's expanded context window, like its short-term memory.
I see.
And the bigger that memory, the more info it can juggle while it's writing your code.
Okay.
That's how Friday builds, way more complex and nuanced applications than we've seen before.
So theoretically, if I can give it unlimited prompts,
Right.
does that mean, like, I could build something super complex with Friday?
That's a good question.
Could I, like, map out the next big social media giant just by feeding it my ideas?
It's tempting to think you could just keep adding prompts forever, right?
Right.
But Friday, it's designed with a specific structure in mind.
Oh, okay.
So you start with like a core prompt to define the foundation of your app.
Right.
Then you add these sections, each with their own prompts to like build out specific parts of the application.
So it's more like constructing a building.
Yeah,
Right.
yeah. Laying that solid foundation, and then you're adding floors and rooms according to a plan.
Yeah, that's a great analogy, this modular approach, right?
Yeah.
It makes sure that even the most complex applications are broken down into these manageable chunks, so it's easier for the AI and the user to, like, work with.
So you're not limited to just creating those simple Hello World apps.
No, not
You
at all.
could like build out a whole e-commerce site piece by piece
Yeah,
just by describing each element to Friday. That opens up so many possibilities.
it does. It really does. And worth noting, Friday uses SBuild behind the scenes, a JavaScript bundler known for its speed.
Okay,
So, your applications, they're not only built quickly, but they run efficiently too.
that's impressive.
Yeah, pretty cool.
But even though you don't need to be like a coding whiz to use Friday,
Right.
I'm guessing it helps to understand at least some of the underlying tech, right?
Yeah, you're absolutely right. The more you understand about how the technology works.
The better you'll be able to craft effective prompts and troubleshoot any issues, right?
Speaking of the practicalities,
Yeah.
the source material here, it outlines some basic usage instructions. And it mentions needing an API key and choosing an endpoint.
Okay.
So can you break those down for our listeners who might not be familiar with those terms?
Sure. So think of an API key as like your unique access pass to use the service, right?
Okay,
It verifies that you're authorized to use Friday.
gotcha.
As for the endpoint, it's basically the address where you connect to the AI service to get the work done.
Okay, so API key is your ticket, endpoint is the address.
Got it. Yeah, that's a good way to put it.
What happens after you have those sorted out?
And then you move on to the exciting part, right?
Yeah.
Building the core module of your application and
Yeah.
running both the back end and front end.
That's where you see it all start to take shape.
Exactly. It's important to remember though that Friday is still like under development.
Oh, right. Sure.
So there might be a few hiccups along the way,
Makes sense. So what kind of hiccups should our listeners be prepared for?
Well, one thing the source material mentions is that Friday might sometimes miss including all the necessary packages right in the project's configuration file.
Okay, now for those who might not speak fluent developer,
Right.
what exactly does that mean?
So think of packages like pre-built tools that developers use to add specific functionality to their applications.
Gotcha.
It's like going to the hardware store and picking up ready-made components, right, instead of crafting everything from scratch.
Right.
So if Friday misses one of these packages, it can, cause a little roadblock when you're trying to run your app.
So what's the fix? If you run into this missing package issue, do you have to, like, call in a developer SWAT team?
Oh, no, not at all.
Okay.
It's a surprisingly easy fix.
Okay.
You can just install the missing packages manually.
Oh, okay.
A minor inconvenience, but definitely not a deal breaker.
That's good to know.
Yeah.
It sounds like even with a few bumps in the road Friday has the potential to truly democratize software development.
Absolutely. And the best part is Friday's developers are always working on improvements and new features.
Speaking of the future, what kind of enhancements are on the horizon?
Well,
Anything that will make developers jump for joy?
one major area of focus is scalability, right?
Oh.
They're aiming to make Friday capable of handling multi-file applications with like a more defined structure.
So in the future, we could see Friday generating these more complex applications, right?
Yeah,
Multiple files, folders, all organized and ready to go.
precisely. Imagine the possibilities for building like robust enterprise-level software with just a few well-crafted prompts.
That's definitely a game changer for those bigger organizations.
Yeah, for sure.
What about improvements for users who aren't as comfy navigating the technical side of things?
Well, they're also planning to like revamp the user interface, make it even more intuitive and user-friendly.
Yeah, I could see that being a huge plus.
Right.
Especially for people who are new to this kind of technology,
Totally.
A clear, straightforward interface can make all the difference in terms of like accessibility and user confidence.
100%. And here's a feature that I think will resonate with, both seasoned developers and those who are just starting out.
Yeah.
They're planning to add documentation capabilities right into Friday.
Hold on. Built-in documentation?
Yeah.
That sounds like a dream come true for anyone who's ever spent, hours sifting through online forums
Right.
trying to decipher cryptic error messages.
Exactly. Imagine being able to attach, API or package documentation to your app prompt with just one click.
Okay.
It would just streamline the whole development process.
Wow. No more endless Googling for documentation. Sign me up.
Right.
What else is in store for Friday's future?
Well, they're also considering incorporating a code debugger.
Whoa.
This would be like an incredibly valuable addition, right, for anyone using Friday, because it allows them to easily find and fix any errors in the code.
A debugger would be a fantastic time saver,
Yeah.
especially when you're working with complex applications.
Yeah, for sure.
It's like having, a built-in detective to help you track down those pesky bugs.
That's a great analogy.
It sounds like Friday's future is really bright, a roadmap filled with features that could totally revolutionize the way we build software.
Yeah, it's exciting to think about the implications of all these advancements, right?
Yeah.
Imagine a world where any organization, regardless of their technical expertise or resources,
Right.
can create custom applications to solve their unique challenges.
This could be a real game changer for small businesses, nonprofits, educational institutions.
Yeah, absolutely.
Really anyone with an idea they want to bring to life.
Right.
They wouldn't need to assemble a whole development team or invest a fortune in custom software.
Exactly. It could level the playing field, empowering individuals and organizations of all sizes to innovate and create in ways that were previously unimaginable. It's truly a democratizing force in the tech world.
It's pretty incredible to think that we're moving toward a world where building software could become as accessible as, writing a document or creating a presentation.
It really is a testament to the rapid pace of innovation in AI.
Yeah, just a few years ago, the idea of an AI building complex applications from simple prompts seemed like something out of science fiction.
Right.
It makes you wonder what other seemingly impossible feats AI will make possible in the near future.
Absolutely.
But with all this talk about AI's potential to revolutionize development,
Right.
it's important to remember that human developers aren't going extinct anytime soon, right?
Oh, absolutely not.
Okay, good.
While AI can automate so many tasks and make development more efficient, it's not about replacing human ingenuity and creativity.
Right.
There's still a critical need for developers who can, solve complex problems, think critically, and ensure that the software we create is ethical and responsible.
So it's not a question of AI versus humans, but rather how we can best leverage AI to enhance human capabilities and create even more innovative and impactful software.
Precisely. Think of it as like a powerful collaboration, right?
Yeah.
AI handling some of the heavy lifting and freeing up developers to focus on those higher level tasks that really require human insight and ingenuity.
This brings up an interesting question, though.
Okay.
If AI tools like Friday continue to evolve at this pace,
Yeah.
what does it mean for the future of the software development industry as a whole?
That's a question that's being debated extensively in the tech world right now.
Yeah.
One possibility is that it could lead to like a shift in the types of skills that are most in demand.
Okay.
Developers might need to become more specialized in areas like, AI integration,
Right.
prompt engineering, and ethical oversight rather than solely focusing on traditional coding skills.
It's like the old saying, adapt or perish.
Yeah, exactly.
The developers who embrace these new tools and learn to work alongside AI effectively, they will be the ones who thrive in this rapidly changing landscape.
100%. And it's not just developers who need to adapt, right?
Yeah.
Business leaders, entrepreneurs,
Mm.
really anyone with a vision for like a digital product or service,
Right.
they'll need to understand the potential of AI-powered development.
It's an exciting and a somewhat daunting prospect, a world where the power to create software is no longer limited to a select few.
Yeah.
If you had the ability to build any application just by describing it, what would you create?
What problem would you solve?
Yeah,
What opportunity would you seize?
Ah.
It's a question worth pondering.
it is indeed. The tools are emerging, the possibilities are expanding,
Yeah.
and it's up to all of us to imagine and create the future we want to see.
The world of technology is constantly evolving, and Friday is just one example of how AI is shaping the future of creation.
Right.
Stay curious, stay informed, and who knows, maybe you'll be the one building the next groundbreaking application.
And that brings us to the end of our deep dive into the world of AI-powered app development with Friday.
It's been a great discussion.
We hope you found this exploration as fascinating as we did.
Yeah. Thanks for listening.
Until next time, keep exploring, keep learning, and keep pushing the boundaries of what's possible.